Welcome to Teachers in Real Estate podcast with your host, Jackie Durbin. I've built a 6-figure income from using what I learned from being a teacher. Teachers make great agents, but guys, it isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Some people are cutthroat. Some clients will make you want to throw in the towel. But your years in education have built you for a career in real estate, and I am here to help. With the right mindset and the right tribe, you can experience the same success. You can either supplement your income as a part-time agent or go full-time into real estate. The tools I will share will help you gain the confidence and expertise to reach your goals. Whatever your goals, let's enjoy this time together. This podcast is geared for teachers who are looking to get their start in real estate and teachers who are already rocking the dual careers. If that's you, grab your notebook, your pencil, and buckle up. We are about to begin Teachers in Real Estate. Hey guys, hey, I am so excited to be with you today. Whether this is the first time or you are a long-time listener, I am so glad that you have found this podcast and I am excited to pour into you. It's honestly one of my biggest joys is creating these podcast episodes. I have received so many different messages, either through Instagram, through YouTube, through my email of teachers who have found this podcast, whether they are just now getting their start into real estate or maybe they're thinking that, hey, guess what? Retirement's around the corner and I'm ready to go full time. Now what do I do? And so if that's you, you're in the right spot. And I'm your host, Jackie Durbin. So in this episode today, I'm really excited because I'm going to talk about how we measure success and why maybe you might need to shift your mindset. Okay, are you ready? Well, let's get going. All right, so as teachers, okay, being in the classroom, being in education, there's so many different tools and kind of like areas where they measure our success as an educator, right? I think probably the one that we would all agree with that is the wrong way is going to be test scores. Now, pause, needed a little bit of a sip. Test scores, let's talk about them. First of all, one test on one given day is not going to give you a full look at one, what kids know, and two, how beneficial and how effective an educator was. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play both sides of that. Now, should there be some type of measurement to hold educators accountable for what they're teaching? Yes. Yes, I do believe that that is true. There should be some type of measurable tool that tells us, okay, you did a job well done. But as educators, don't we already do that? Don't we assess our students? Don't we meet in PLC groups? Don't we collaborate with other teachers in our building and through other buildings to see, hey, what's the best way? Don't we spend time looking at those Common Core standards and say, okay, what does this standard truly mean? And what does mastery mean? But guys, at the end of the day, a test score is not going to measure your overall success. Okay, what's another one? Well, I can remember on the first 3 days of school how important it was for attendance, right? And one of the reasons was because that's how you would determine how much government funding was given based on the number of kids that you had on that third day count, right? And so as teachers, sometimes we're measured on success. Sometimes we're even given awards in our schools to make sure that our kids are in the building, right? And do you really, is that even your job? Like, I'm not driving a school bus. I don't have a huge van that I'm going around and picking up my students. So at the end of the day, can I make them want to come to school? Yeah. But it's not my job to get them there because one, I don't drive a bus, and two, they're not my own children, right? So how many parents do you have that maybe they don't prioritize bringing their kids to school and they're not in front of you? Okay. Here's another measurable tool, right? Student growth. Now, this one I will say, yes, this does, I think, kind of get to where we need to go as far as like measuring a teacher's success. There should be growth. However, there's things that get in the way of growth, right? Maybe a student is hospitalized for an illness. Maybe they are moving around a lot, so they really don't get a lot of growth in a school year. Then we had COVID. There was a lot of kids that didn't have a lot of growth because they missed so much. And no matter how well, and I know that I have teachers on here that rocked it out during COVID, the bottom line is we were never taught how to teach through a computer. We were always taught teaching hands on, being in front of the kids, right? So, growth, again, sometimes maybe it's behavior management, right? A teacher is successful if she can make all of her kids sit still and be quiet during an entire lesson. But again, is that truly success? Because guess what? When the kids are being silent, they're not having conversations. And how many times are you learning if you're not having conversations about it? What about organization, right? The teacher must be successful because, wow, her room looks beautiful. Yeah, it's color coordinated. Yeah, she's got all kinds of things hanging and her books are always organized. But is that truly success? What about lesson plans, right? The teacher that goes ahead and plans out for an entire week and everything looks wonderful and the lessons are engaging and all that kind of stuff, right? Maybe that's success. Last but not least, let's not forget the awards. Teacher of the year, teacher of the state, teacher of blah, 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 blah. Guys, what about the fact that if there's just one teacher of the year, how many other amazing teachers are there? So, this is what I want to tell you, okay? My success in the classroom included a mind shift. Okay. I had to have that mindset shift because I never had the highest test scores. I just didn't. Okay. There was always going to be another teacher or another school that had higher test scores than me. So I couldn't let that be how I viewed my success. I had kids who didn't come to school. Okay. Their parents didn't see it as a priority. And also, there were some years that my behavior management was better than others, if I'm just being honest, right? I never received an award from the state or the district. So, based on thinking of those, what did I list? Eight, seven, eight things. If that was how I was rating my success, basically I was a C teacher at best, a C. Now that's average. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was not an average educator. I was the teacher who was constantly reviewing, reflecting. After each lesson plan, my kids always had like a 5 minute debriefing, right? Now they saw it as, ooh, we get 5 minutes to like chit chat with our friends. What they didn't realize was during that 5 minutes in my lesson plan book, I was creating a huge post it note that said, this is what went well. This is what I would change. These were the things, the feedback that I got from my students, because I would always give them like a feedback card. So at the end of a lesson, I would say, what did you like about this lesson? What did you learn? What do you wish you had, more time to think about, learn about, be taught about? And it was a way to really reflect because that's how I view success. Success is a teacher who is able to constantly, I don't want to say criticize, but they're able to see where they can improve. A teacher that says, "Oh, I'm fabulous." That's not growth, right? A fabulous teacher, a teacher that has reached a level of success is a teacher that constantly tries to learn more. They're not in that fixed mindset. They're in an open mindset. And they don't think like, oh, well, I've been teaching for 20 years. No one can teach me anything new. Girl, I'm here to tell you, you can always learn something new. So when I shifted my mindset, what I started to look as, you know what, my success is based on the kids that I touch. And that's what your success is in the classroom. It's the students that you touch. It's the future that you now have been a part of that forever change. So one of the first schools that I worked at, it was King Elementary. It was in Louisville, Kentucky, down in West Louisville, which is not a very desirable area in the city. It is prone to gun violence, gangs. It's not a place that you really want to be around. And the thing was, when I first taught there, that was my first interaction with that area of the city. Now, I was Louisville born and raised, right? But I'd never been in that part of the city, and I really kind of had like these blinders on, and I didn't know what I didn't know. Um, I was, for the most part, one of the first positive white people that my minority students had ever encountered. And many of them told me that. Many of the parents told me, I'm really glad that my child has you because I feel like you are going to give them a new outlook. And I'm like, wow, okay, put all of the weight of the white people on my shoulders. Just joking. But seriously, That was a lot of it. But one of the things that I know I was successful even in my first 3 years of teaching is because the students that I taught, and I actually looped those students, I had them in third grade and then I looped them in fourth grade. Many of them are friends of mine on social media platforms, and they tag me when they get married, and they tag me when they graduate from college, and they tag me when they begin to grow their family. And it's nice to know, wow, I made an impact. Guys, that was 20 years ago. And these kids still remember me. That is success. So, as you're getting out of this education mindset and you're starting to get into real estate, I'm going to tell you, it's all about measuring. It is all about measuring. And you're going to say, well, if I'm a successful real estate agent, I have this much volume. Now, your volume is how many actual homes that you've sold, right? I'm sorry, the amount of money. So like, if you've sold $500,000 homes, then you're at 2.5 million in volume. Okay. Units, the number of houses that you sell, right? I have to sell so many houses. You might measure your success as a real estate agent based on your GCI, which is your gross commission income. How much money am I making? Maybe you're at a brokerage that benefits you financially when you attract agents. Okay. So maybe that's your success. Maybe it's your follower account. Maybe it's how many phone calls you get a day. Guys, what we miss when we rate our success like this is our impact on our clients. No different than our impact on our students in the classroom. But I'm going to tell you, there are a lot of amazing real estate agents. I mean, I could name five off the top of my head right now, females in real estate. And when I sit down and I talk to them and I look at like, oh wow, you have your own brokerage, or oh wow, you get to go on vacations every quarter, or oh wow, you just paid cash for your child's college education, right? When I see all of these things, and unfortunately a lot of them are monetary, right? What I didn't know was in their first few years of real estate, they wouldn't have seen themselves as successful because maybe they didn't sell a house, or maybe they only sold one house, or maybe they had some, contracts that were moving forward, and then for whatever reason they fell out, right? So this is how I'm going to encourage you to look at success. I want you to think to yourself, have I helped anyone understand buying and selling? Have I helped to protect anyone from being taken advantage of in this industry based on what I've put out there? That's success. Have I helped someone who didn't think home ownership was an option? And did I walk them through that process? Guys, I don't care if it's just one person. The vision. Did I create a new vision for my own children? Now, I will tell you this. I always love teaching. And I don't think I would have ever left if certain circumstances hadn't happened. And my children, my oldest, she told me at a volleyball game, and I talked about this just this past week. She always wanted to, as a kid, she wanted to be a brain surgeon. Okay, I blame it on Grey's Anatomy. I'm an avid Grey's Anatomy fan. Don't judge me. So anyhow, she always wanted to be a brain surgeon, and we're sitting at a volleyball tournament because she played travel volleyball, and she comes up to me very like she'd been running, and she goes, I don't want to be a brain surgeon. And I was like, okay, like you're 12. That's fine. Whatever. I will love you. And I'm like, she goes, do you want to know why? And I'm like, well, if you want to tell me, sure, go ahead. She goes, Mom, I think I only want to be a brain surgeon to make money. And I was like, well, they do make a lot of money. And she goes, yeah. She goes, but think about everything they'd miss out on. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, you don't make a lot of money as a teacher. And I'm like, yeah, tell me about it. And she goes, but you don't miss anything. You're at every one of my practices. You're at every one of my games. Like, if something happens, you're always there for me. She goes, and I don't ever want to have a job where I can't put my own children first the same way that you've always done for me. And I'm like, okay, start tears. You know, scene one. Jackie is in full tears. Okay. But here's the thing. That's what a lot of people don't understand. If your volume, if your units, if all of those things are so high, what are you missing out on? Are you missing out on events with your family? Are you missing out on having a little bit of freedom? Because I'm going to tell you right now, burnout is no joke. And when you are running ragged and ragged and ragged and chasing those numbers, guys, it's never going to be enough. Now, I will tell you this. Last year, I think I sold maybe 2 million on my own. I attracted 4 agents to the brokerage. No awards there. But I'm changing my mindset. My success now is being able to have freedom to attend all of my son's field trips. Yeah, as a teacher, I wasn't able to do that very often either. But now, as a business owner and as a real estate agent, one of the things that I see as successful to me, one of my whys, is being able to be in my kid's life because for a little bit in real estate, that wasn't my sole focus. I was chasing numbers, I was chasing houses, I was chasing money. And what I found was when that was my focus, when that was my why, it was never enough. I get to now take trips back to Kentucky to visit my parents and my older children whenever I want to. Well, I would say whenever I want to. My husband would disagree. So rewind, we'll take that out. Okay, so actually, we're not taking it out because we're not doing any editing, but I'm able to have that freedom. That's success for me. Having a healthy marriage, guys, that is a success for me because I'm going to tell you right now, when you are a business owner and when you are a business owner with your spouse, it takes a toll on your marriage. Now, are we perfect? No, we're not perfect. We are far from perfect. But every day we try to do a little bit better. And every day we get to wake up and try a little bit better each day. But above all, what my success was is helping the agents on my team generate wealth for themselves. That's amazing. So let's go ahead and just wrap this up. But what are the keys to making it in this industry, in my opinion? If you want to make it in real estate, if you really want to make it, you need to stop counting listings. You need to quit counting how many buyers you have. You need to quit thinking about how much money you make. You need to look past those bogus awards. And yes, they are bogus. Seriously, they are bogus. Okay? I could tell you stories. What I think you need to do is focus on your mental real estate. When you look in the mirror and you see that reflection, are you proud of yourself? And don't think about the numbers, but are you truly proud of yourself? Are you doing a job well done? Because remember at the end of the day, when it was like, oh my gosh, I just survived. I survived the 7 hours that I was in the classroom. But when you looked in the mirror, were you at least proud of the person that you were? Did you show respect and kindness to your students? Did you create a community of learners that knew that it was okay to not know everything and to get something wrong? Because at the end of the day, it's how you feel about yourself that actually really matters. Guys, this is a hard job. Teaching's a hard job. Real estate's a hard job. It doesn't matter, right? But guys, we do it every single day. And you're doing a great job. So I want you to keep it up and I want you to reach out to me if I can help. And remember, check in on your people. Make sure they know that you are always there. Also, if you'll do me a solid and rate and share this podcast so others can find it more easily. Also, if you're listening right now, take a screenshot of your phone, throw it on Instagram, tag me at Jackie Durbin AZ. That's JACKIE DURBINAZ. I guarantee you when you tag me, I'm going to leave you a little comment. I'm also going to reach out to you to see if you have any questions. But guys, if you're looking to get licensed, reach out to me. I'd love to help you through that. If you are wanting to gain some business, if you want to take your business to the next level, I want to be able to help you with that as well. Guys, it's been a pleasure. As always, I'll see you next time on Teachers in Real Estate. Bye.